Where do I go?
Let's see if we can beat off... Oh. I was going to say, let's see if we can beat off to orgasm in the time it takes for him to realise he's still recording. Save point. Didn't like the look of that.
No, well, I sort of infrequent. I'm looking for...
Oh, hey. Some dosh.
Yeah, this is where we get into the money barriers. And in case you haven't noticed, money's not just fucking everywhere at this point in the game.
Well, it's not in real life either.
Well, no. Although, okay, one time, some crazy drunk dude tried to push past me at the door. And I sort of did like this little inside leg trip, which is real easy on drunk people. And when he went down, he actually had a bunch of change in his top pocket. And it just sort of spilled out in front of me. And I took that change, because I earned it.
Who?
Shift again.
Who keeps things in their top pocket, really?
Asshole drunks.
I mean, I say it because I was keeping my hotel room key in there this morning, because I'd used up all my other pockets. And I dwelled on it because it was the first time I'd used my top pocket for anything in a very long time. It feels
weird with something up there, doesn't it?
Hey, his AI's fucked up.
Yeah.
Because the pathfinding around that weird terrain is too complex. Have a lovely shower, and I'll have a lovely shower of wands. Ha ha ha!
It's so sad shooting acid rain and just saying like, one. So that basically does the damage of like 3 sword hits. But God, fuck getting too close to these things.
Oh, I think the monster's figured it out.
Damn you!
Does the tail hurt you? Because it looks like it should.
It always... Once you've hurt something, it faces you. It's kind of hard to get around behind it. Especially considering the tail only really points 2 ways.
I imagine that monster is very bitter because it cannot masturbate with its 2 spiky hands. I went straight there again.
Maybe it has a hole. Maybe this is a lady monster.
You know what? Let's not be lowest common denominator. Let's instead say, I bet that monster is really frustrated because it broke its 50th attempt at making a ship in a bottle this morning.
It's unable to hold books on literature. Hey, more health!
Hey, more health, and just in time.
That's the other thing.
Pill bug might have done something nasty to you.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like, leveling up doesn't give you more health. Leveling up, like, does nothing in this game.
I thought it did.
No.
I seem to remember the first time you leveled up, you got a small amount of health.
It might give you a little, but, like, the hearts give you...
Yeah, the hearts give you a fuckload.
And again, you know, I'm level 4 now, I end the game at level 10. Like, you don't...
Why is
really
this
don't level
goblin
up much.
Talking in a Newfoundland accent?
Because I guess the people who made this game were making fun of newfies.
I want to live with humankind.
Yeah, so this poor goblin... Looks like he's almost going to be interesting and have a plot and stuff, but he doesn't, he's just here.
Kill him!
No, I don't want to kill poor George.
Yes, you do.
He kind of gives me a little bit of plot info.
Mog, that was a character from Final Fantasy. He was a Moogle.
What's the deal with the Moogles in that?
I haven't really played much. They are the cute
that.
mascot thing they put in so they can sell toys, like the slime from Dragon Quest.
Slime.
You smacked your chops again.
This guy's saying slime.
I can say slime without smacking my chops, but then I learned how to talk properly. Slime. Slime.
River of slime!
Perhaps it's unfair to me to expect a good speaking voice from someone who hasn't recorded their own audiobooks like you. Perhaps I should check my privilege.
Yeah, you rich white man. Are you gonna buy a house? You should buy a house. You should have a house. I don't know why you live in an apartment. It's weird.
I like apartments. I don't like living in houses. Well, they feel too big and empty.
It wouldn't be empty if you had a bunch of dogs.
All by myself.
Dogs, man. You could have like 8 dogs. You could have a whole room for dogs.
I want to be a crazy dog lady.
That's coming anyway, dude. Like, may as well ease into that hot bath now.
And it'll poo everywhere.
Yeah, that's dogs, man. You have a backyard. I mean, that's the joy of a house.
Hey, that guy's drunk too much coffee. Oh, okay. He's just excited.
Yeah.
You gotta keep running diagonally.
Crab walk.
Crab.
That's exciting.
It's a crab festival.
Yeah.
That sounds like a festival for people with a sexually transmitted disease.
What were you saying earlier about lowest common denominator?
Sorry. Forgot myself for a moment
See,
there.
now the ducks follow him because that's his act. He's gonna march with ducks. Love my ducks, and now he's behind a bookshelf.
Someone fucked up the layering there. I'm a way better programmer.
Yeah.
Project.
Fix that shit, 18-year-ago game makers.
What's wrong with you?
All of this does nothing.
He had a smiley in his dialogue.
That's a good point.
Because they
it didn't even register when I was playing this. It was like,
it's
IRC
smiley. Dialogue. How do you pronounce a smiley? Okay, blah de blah de blah de blah.
I agree with that.
But that would just be like a standard smiley.
Yeah, you gotta. What's a winky face? Come up with winky face.
Okay, that would be blah de blah de blah de blah. That because it's suggestive.
Yeah. Yeah, winky face is always suggestive.
Give me another.
I don't know many. Fuck, dude, I don't use these
tons
things.
of smileys, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know them. I don't use the damn things. I know there's the one.
We haven't even done sad face yet.
Oh, I forgot about sad face.
Okay, sad face would be blah de blah de blah de blah.
You could probably strip the audio from these and use them now, people.
What about the face with the tongue sticking out?
Well, you said it. You know these things, just...
let me think about that one.
There's the one that uses the X, and I'm not sure what that means.
I think the one with the tongue
Capital
sticking
X.
out would be blah de blah de blah de blah. And the one with the X?
Yeah, like it uses like an X for eyes or something.
The X for eyes and the big capital D for a mouth?
Yeah.
What
does that one even mean?
That would probably require more enthusiasm than I'm capable of.
Oh, come on.
Okay, well...
You've been into this with much gusto.
Well, I kind of read a sort of threatening bearing of teeth in it, so I'd go blah de blah de blah de blah.
Huh. I wonder if that is a threatening one. It's kind of like a xenomorph doing the hissing thing when it leans into Ripley in Alien 3.
I wonder if there's a smiley for, I'm going to laugh at that comment, but you better watch your back, mister, if this goes any further.
I'm going to kill you in your sleep.
Let's douse for water with our sword for a few seconds, and continue.
Yeah, I have to follow the girl, because...
This seems to happen a lot. We seem to be being, led away for furtive encounters.
None of which are furtive. Or fun.
They just come across as furtive.
Yeah, like, shh.
Secrets. Come here, come here.
I'm going to tell you something.
There's something in there you're going to have to smash to death.
There's a treasure in the east. So now the mayor's in here for some reason, and...
Treasure in the east? I've never heard it called that before. Wow. Sorry, what was the suggestive one?
My left vagina.
Never heard it called that before, winky face.
See, there's the, it crops up again. Is she single? Ha ha, need penis to touch something.
Oh, penis, tiny penis. How, what a lovable loser you are. You're like Leisure Suit Larry in green tights.
But like a teenage Leisure Suit Larry.
So what about the smiley that's like a capital I for a mouth?
Oh yeah, that one.
That's a faintly disapproving look.
That sounds more like a...
That would be more like...
I like that we're finding noise...
It's like,
I wonder what this place is called.
It's like, I'm not sure I approve of this.
I make the full mistake of thinking that the bow and arrow would be useful to get, because it's 1,000 gold, and hey, it's another ranged attack. That's, that's a big problem, is getting in close, So,
I noticed we couldn't be bothered drawing the slogan, the best in bows, on an actual sign.
No,
we just added a dialogue box and hoped you wouldn't notice.
It just sits over it really awkwardly. Here's the other thing too, I forgot. You actually need to buy the bow. It's essentially a key.
Oh,
so it's $1,000 key, and I have like 300 fucking gold at the moment.
Of course it is. Yeah, I did pull this sort of thing in Galaxy of Fantabulous Wonderment. I did actually replay that recently in my spare time, after we did Rob Blank.
Ah, so you're going through the old...
Well, I kind of wanted to do most of my games sort of blank, but I just wanted to...
Must have.
Just wanted to have another check of that one properly to make sure it worked properly, and I ended up playing through it all because I think some of it still holds up.
Hey, I'm looking forward to getting to your games that still hold up.
But there are bits in like Fantabulous Wonderment where the game just goes, you cannot continue until you pay 3,000 credits for the next item that gets you to the next thingy. But the point is, Galaxy and Fantabulous Wonderment had a lot of like side activities you could do to make money.
Yeah, that's at least.
And there's not much of that in this.
No, there's barely activities.
You grind for cash, that's all there is. Yeah, this could really have done with a few more like side activities.
Yeah. Just give purpose to something.
Why was there a pine tree growing on a beach?
And with a dude under it.
Bow lore?
Yeah.
So you need that to use a bow?
No, I bought bow lore as well, thinking, okay, the bow's kind of useless now, but if I get bow lore, it's gonna be... No.
So what does it do then?
It lets you shoot shitty arrows incredibly slowly, that move incredibly slowly, and do about as much damage as the fireball, but with a way slower shooting rate. So...
Gosh, Gabriel, I'm not sure why anyone would buy the regular bow.
Fucking no reason. Well, I mean, if the game forces you to buy the bow, it's
missed!
It's just a $1,500 fucking ticket to get into the Goblin Sanctuary.
Right.
And the Goblin Sanctuary exists because there used to be like a race of goblins, and there was a castle, and there was a war. The goblins lost, and now that's kind of like their reserve.
Hey, is that monster excited for the festival too?
I call him Waggles.
Waggy, waggy, waggy tail, waggy tail, waggy tail.
I just want to be petted.
Yes, scratch just above my arse.
Splat.
Hey, 64 gold. We'll have that total in no time.
No. Why, at the lightning fast pace at which I destroy these monsters, and the fact that they're everywhere is just...
Well, if you keep leveling up, it's only going to get quicker, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
ostensibly.
Finding attack potions. Yeah, like, by the end I'm actually reasonably badass, but...
Of course, if your stats don't increase to the point that it takes less blows to kill something, then it's hardly worth the bother, really.
Mm.
And if it goes from hitting it twice to hitting it once, then fine. But if previously you hit it once for,
7, and now I hit it for 8.
Yeah.
No, it does get quicker. There's another one of those ones where you're really low level for like 80% of the game. And then for the last 20% it's just like, here's one little area with about 10 fucking strength power-ups.
Yeah. I guess it's like towards the end of Beyond Good and Evil, where they'd obviously wanted to have more like activities to unlock the orbs that you use to like buy your way to the final encounter. But towards the end they just go, by the way, here's a room full of orbs to make up the rest you need to win the game.
Fuck it. That's it. I'm pushing the fuck it button.
Yeah.
Still enjoy Beyond Good and Evil though.
Yeah, I mean the
sequel to that.
They released a trailer for it, but
a long time ago.
A long time ago, but I don't know what the fuck's going on. I think Ubisoft are more interested in making the same sandbox game over and over again.
Wow, that is so much easier. And people buy them. People buy them, Yahtzee.
Hope you like climbing radio towers to unlock the map. Hey, a mushroom, which you can't do anything with.
Another massively conspicuous, I'm pretty sure used only once, sprite that is...
So that's the sort of thing where you'd think, obviously, I can only pick this up once I have started the quest that uses them.
Yeah, I need the mushroom picker gloves, of course. And then there's that.
Oh, yeah, of course you say this, but there'll probably be someone on the comments saying, actually, there's a really hard-to-find character who gives you the mushroom quest. And I'm talking like this because I'm Boris Johnson, apparently.
I bet Boris Johnson does, like, still flame people on the message boards for Dink Smallwood.
Yes, I'm sure that's something he does. Oh gosh, crikey, gosh.
I can't believe you don't know this, idiot. I like to, like, imagine that
American listeners now looking up who Boris Johnson is. Don't worry, we'll wait.
He's a character.
Yeah. He's a character who's somehow been voted in the Mayor of London. Mainly because he's just this sort of, like, humorous duffer, but he actually has some really shitty opinions as well.
Yeah. It's kind of like a slightly more benign looking...
Like, he keeps making gaffes that really expose him as this sort of, like, Tory out-of-touch ponce. And just people love him more for it. He's like a teddy bear.
Yeah.
He just made another hilarious, like, gaff.
Yeah, he's like a benign Clive Palmer, or a slightly more benign looking Clive Palmer.
Well, you say that, but, what if he actually gets real power?
God only knows. I kind of want to see Clive Palmer get real power now, just to see what would happen.
Yes, and now we'll wait for the Americans to look up who Clive Palmer is as well.
Okay, for a quick little crib notes, he built a golf course with giant dinosaur statues on it and wants to build the Titanic 2. And he's an insanely rich Queensland businessman who decided to start his own political party for reasons.
So he's like Donald Trump?
Yeah, but I think Donald Trump knows it's all an act and does it just because it keeps him in the public profile and makes sure he's able to earn money. I think Palmer actually sort of buys into an awful lot of his stuff.
Yes. How much are these very public idiots playing us all?
Yeah.
How smart is Carl Pilkington really?
I think he's a wizard. I think he has to play up to it.
He has to be aware of it at this point.
Yeah. Especially given that Ricky Gervais constantly says that he deliberately torments him for amusement.
Yeah. All out of fun and love, though.
So cruel to him sometimes.
Well, you know, I think Ricky Gervais is from that same sort of
Be a jerk to your friends.
English mindset that I'm familiar with, where you take the piss out of someone to show how comfortable you are with them and how much you like them.
I think there's a definite note of that in Australia as well. Taking the piss is a fine tradition.
Yeah, I got that impression. But it's just really incompatible with, like, oversensitivities on the internet. And maybe that's why it rubs me up the wrong way. And it's not because I'm a monster, internet.
What rubs you the wrong way? Oversensitivity? Or...
Yeah, oversensitivity.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, I'm used to growing up in an environment of saying, "Hey, you twat, ah, I bet you like it up the bum all the time." Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Well, it's the Malcolm Tucker thing. Gay sex is fine if you're gay. If you're straight, then it's weird.
Yeah, gays. Yeah, like,
you can be bi too. That's fine.
Yeah, this is a reference to the Thick of It tie-in book that I've bought, which has got some like tips for politicians from like Malcolm Tucker, who in the thick of it was like a spin doctor for the political party in the show. And one of his tips was, you may fuck. However, you may not weird fuck.
That's like, such a great line of weird fuck.
Please note, gay fucking is not weird fucking. That's fine fucking, unless you're not gay.
Yeah.
In which case it's weird fucking.
Yeah, I will only mock someone for being gay if they scream about being straight. Like those, fundamentalists who are like, oh, God hates the faggots, and then every weekend goes and smokes pole.
Yeah.
It's like, that's now making fun of you. There's a discrepancy in how what you say and how you behave.
Yeah. See, it's not so much...
Okay.
It's not so much that, like, the ways people are different that we mock in this environment of mockery. It's just, insecurities.
Mm. You should proudly fuck.
Stiff upper lip, old boy.
Waiting for acid rain to charge.
Okay, I'm hesitant even to, like, tangentially talk about oversensitivity on the internet. So let's talk about this massive group of insects that are on screen.
Yeah.
They will now shortly be...
waggles.
There will now shortly be effectively just one insect. Yeah, this monster really actually... It's not because of a programming fuck-up, it actually seems to hate the insects.
Yeah, it genuinely looks like it's going off them.
You can see pretty much an identical encounter when head crabs and bull squids interact in Half-Life.
Which one are the bull squids?
They're like the dog things with the tentacles for faces that spit acid at you. For some reason, they're programmed so that if you're in a room with a bull squid and some head crabs, the bull squid will always attack the head crabs before you.
Huh.
It just hates those things.
Is there anything in Half-Life lore that would explain that?
I'm not sure. I think it might be just that, the bull squids and the head crabs and the hound eyes were part of the initial invasion because they were just sort of Zen wildlife that got accidentally transported.
Mm.
The actual alien army, comes over later. And I guess it's just in their natural environment. The bull squid preys on head crabs.
That'd be a funny thing to do to another species. Just like, what are we doing? I'm gonna teleport a bunch of fucking animals there, see what happens. Here you go, have some tigers.
I imagine
some snakes.
I imagine they will not get along well with the locals.
Big ass pile of tigers and snakes.
That's like the plot of a South Park episode, isn't it? Where they're saying every planet is only one species.
Except
but
Earth.
Earth is just some reality TV show where they put one of every species on there to see what would happen.
Sandwiching it all together. I just need 500 more gold. fucking get this fucking bow and arrow.
Oh, so you didn't cut this grinding out then?
No, I left it because I did a lot of like wandering around the map for this grind. The second half of the game's grind.
So I think there's nothing wrong with a grind quest if it's like to incentivize you to explore the map and explore different like activities, but
no, the end game grinding in this is the end game grinding in this is really bad because the end game areas are really small.
Yeah.
Particularly the area full of the giants. It's just one. It's like fucking 8 screens basically.
You've hyped up these giants a lot. I'm looking forward to seeing them now.
Oh, they're shitty.
I've forgotten what they look like.
They're actually an amazing Skyrim-esque 3D creation of. They look like several lumps of bland wood.
So you do need the bow lore to like finish the game.
No, you need the bow.
Yeah, you need the bow. I got that.
You need the bow to finish the game. And that's how fast the bow charges, so...
Oh, I'm remembering now.
And that gives you, like, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe that's a 24 damage or something useful. Nope, 6. So it does about...
That's shit, your fireball, regenerates faster than that.
Yes, it does!
Just use the fireball.
Yeah, exactly.
Silly dink.
So, I don't know how much damage the arrow... I'm like, okay, I gotta see how much this does.
That looked like the grave of Richard Keel.
Who's that name? Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Now Americans can go look that up. No. Richard Keel played Jaws in the James Bond films. He's a very tall fella.
4 on a slime.
Arrowing the air directly above it, I notice.
And 1 if I don't slowly charge it up all the way. And it's about this point where I realize, hey, this is fucking useless. That just does nothing.
He just soaked that up.
Yeah, I just realized, I haven't got a solution to my problems.
I think he caught it in his teeth and then he ate it in front of you.
I do buy bow lore later, and I'm like, okay, maybe this is going to make it great. And what bow lore does is make me say power shot when I shoot the bow, and then adds like an extra 2 damage. Later on, you can get like the massive bow. I don't bother buying it though, because by that stage I have a better sword and my magic's useful.
Is that the technical term?
Yes, that is. This is what it's called.
Oh, so someone actually did refuse to open a door until you showed them a bow.
Yes.
See, I assumed it would be some kind of organic sort of puzzle where you have to shoot something past a gate.
Well, the idea is you're pretending to be an assassin hired by the cast.
Those goblins are really poorly depicted.
Yeah, these goblins are friendly to me at the moment, but if I touch them, they still do like 20 damage.
Personal space. Bad touch.
Dirty. So yeah, then you just have to commit genocide.
Oh,
the storms are back. I love that there's a tree growing on the wall of the building next door to you.
How many times have you brought that up?
Every time I look at it, it's a tree on the side of a fucking building. It's mental to me.
Well, it's hardly a tree.
It's getting there, though.
It's
the bugger's growing.
It's a stick.
Sapling.
I imagine there's a limit to how big it can get before it will fall off that thing that it is growing off.
Collapse over into your window.
Why are you killing all the gobbos?
Because you have to.
Good reason.
Yeah, there's basically Mog, who's the head of the gobbos, won't come out until you've killed his guards, and you have to kill Mog because only when he's dying does he tell you where the cast are hiding.
That seems like we're making a lot of assumptions there.
Well, the goblins are ostensibly working with the cast to murder an entire village of innocents for fun.
And that's why we must kill them all.
That was a frustrating waste of acid rain. Sploop. And then none of the other guys
These other guys are just sort of wondering where to go after this.
Yeah. They don't go aggro if you attack nearby. They only go enemies only go aggro if you attack them. So.
Of course, that would have required a sophisticated amount of programming.
And then, because they walk so retardedly slow, fairly easy matter to take care of them.
Fun.
Yeah, although we do get to see one of the unique sprites. Are they sprites? Are these actually 3D models?
Yeah, they're sprites. They're just 3D models, but the models have been turned into sprites.
Okay, cool.
They've presumably been like capped from all the angles and then made into sprite animations.
Huh. Mog's got 2 hands.
I was raised by humans. Now you're gonna talk in all caps, I'm gonna talk in all caps.
And of course he's wonky and stupid as well, so it's fairly easy.
He's got 2 heads.
Yeah.
How does that work?
You know. One does maths, one does language.
Is it like those conjoined twins who are effectively a two-headed girl and they share a single vagina?
Probably. He probably shares a vagina.
Please stop raining on me. Relevant. Because it's now pissing down outside.
Ah, good. Yeah, I get to walk home. Ah, so that's what that big weird L spot is. I didn't realize that. So this is actually, I think, a cutscene. It just sort of does it automatically.
Okay.
Yep, so I have to route the evil cast. And that cool kind of catapult trebuchet looking thing there.
Cast of those Ornstein looking motherfuckers there.
Yeah.
Man, that was close. I almost tripped over a disembodied duck head.
Yeah, it's weird because that duck head's just there. Like, it's not the result of me killing one, and normally when you kill something, it just goes away. It's just
This must be some kind of quest to track down the duck killer.
The Duck Ripper.
Turns out it was another duck.
As we will find out later, it is I who is the Duck Ripper.
The ducks got a bit overexcited. We have to kill the 4 guards now.
I think one of them goes away.
Okay, the 3 guards. But not that it matters, we'll just rope-a-dope them until they're all one guard.
Although their gold armor does protect them from acid rain.
Assholes.
Which kind of bums me out, because I was like, I got the solution to this. Oh.
Does it protect them against pig feed? I think not.
So, basically, you've only got fuck all hope of doing any damage to them unless you get the crowd together.
Of course.
Yeah. And then they hit each other with their axes.
There we go. Monster infighting.
Not even. This isn't monsters. This is like 3 trained dudes with axes. Dave, you're hitting.
Ow.
You're hitting me, Dave. Yeah.
I feel you're continually underleveled. Eat the giant maggot.
And that hit the guard behind him because hitboxes.
Yum. Bear with
Then
me.
I get stuck and freak out.
I'll just eat this foot-long sandwich that your friend left.
First you kill him, now you're eating his lunch. You sick fuck.
Money!
And I really don't want to get near those axes, so I just resign myself to fireballing this last one.
Just the 1 axe now.
Good point. At any rate, I'm not gonna fucking play the dance of randomized fucking hit-hurt interactions.
Lovely.
So now I've killed the cast, and I've saved the town, and the...
What do you think when they say the cast, they mean the caste?
What's the caste?
Yeah, a caste would mean like a subsection of society.
Oh.
Usually looked down upon.
I'm pretty sure that's still pronounced cast. That's with an E.
I don't think so.
I'm nearly 100% sure that is pronounced cast.
Well, he's spelling it without the E there.
Yeah, but I don't think that's what they're talking about in this.
Well, the cast...
I think the cast isn't like a spell.
Perhaps it's referring to a cast of characters in a play.
Well, it's hard to say because he has... The spelling and general grammar seems to go a little bit.
They were rehearsing a play about being an evil cult, and they sort of got too into the role.
Method. So, yep, now I've shown him proof after I've killed everybody.
Yawn. Yeah, that's right, I yawned. That was the sound of me yawning.
You're very onomatopoeic.
Oh, hey, it's a cutscene.
Yep, with all of the possible graphics.
That's a parade, is it?
Yes!
This, people, is a parade. A crab
walking tour of Shitsville.
It's a crab walking tour of Shitsville.
I'd watch a parade of people just walking sideways through town.
Kiss me!
Touch my Smallwood. Oh.
Yes. Touch my knob.
Just let that sentence end there.
Hello,
touch.
I was trying to think of a euphemism for small I hadn't used.
Micro.
Touch my knob microwanger.
Go around, talk to some of the parade attendees. Hit a pig.
As you do.
Yeah. Save it again.
Make some bacon butties for the stall.
Alright, we're now officially into part 2 of the gameplay.
Are we?
Yeah, so now we get to skip some of the fucking grind.
Hooray.
But first we've got to pop over to Windermere.
Windermere?
Windermere.
Windermere is actually a place in the UK.
Oh, so it's pronounced.
There's a Lake Windermere.
Yeah. Is it a nice lake? Is it like a touristy destination?
Well, it's in the Lake District.
Oh, I didn't even know the UK had a Lake District.
Yes, it's the scenic part of the country, away from all the towns
Where's that,
and cities.
like the north of the Midlands? Or?
It's in, the sort of mid-north sort of region.
Because from what I'm gathering from your discussions about Britain, it's all England, that's kind of where the more rusticy, farmery, idyllic rolling green
basically the
shit.
further away from London you get.
Oh, okay.
And not so far north you reach
Scotland.
Liverpool and Newcastle and that sort of place. Anyway.
Because Liverpool and Newcastle are industrial cities as well, aren't they?
Fairly, yes. Yeah. And there's a few of those in Scotland, like Inverness.
Learning my geography. There's me whacking pill bugs and getting an almighty 5 fucking experience for the pleasure. God, I'm still on level 3 at this point. I didn't even know that.
Pecker diminutive schlong.
Pekka's a nice one, isn't it?
I associate it with racist sheriffs in the Old South.
Yeah. Peckerwood, I know that gets used a lot in terms of like white prisoners in prisons. I've seen that crop up in a few discussions about sort of prison gang life.
And you goddamn Peckerwood niggers wanna say different.
Racist sheriffs. You wonderful old cinema trope, you.
Yes, like the one from Live and Let Die.
Real thing.
One from Live and Let Die.
So weird.
Sheriff G.W. Pepper. I even remember the character name. The amazing thing to me is they brought him back in the next film.
Yeah, like
here's a character we need some fucking continuity on.
Let's find an excuse to have him back.
Let's explore the continued mythos of Sheriff G.W. Pepper.
What's his name? Who was the Bond for that one?
Roger Moore.
Yeah, the Roger Moore Bonds were...
He certainly did.
Tonally peculiar at times.
Yes. I mean, that's where they started taking the piss.
Yeah, they got really goofy at that point, which they then turned around when they got back to
I remember,
Timothy Dalton.
Listening to an interview with Roger Moore where they asked him, they said that he'd taken a bit more of a tongue-in-cheek approach to the role, and he said that he couldn't really envision any other way to do a character who's ostensibly a spy, who the first thing he does whenever he meets someone is immediately introduce himself by his real name.
Because wasn't he offered... Because he originally was going to be one of the first Bond before Connery.
The weird pattern with the James Bonds is that virtually all of them were offered the role when they were younger and took it later.
That's weird.
Timothy Dalton was offered it around the time Roger Moore took the role. Pierce Brosnan... Oh, said Piers Morgan there. Pierce Brosnan was offered it around the time Timothy Dalton was offered it.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it was a
series of events.
It was a weird, parallelism.
Yeah. And then there's what's his name? George something.
George Lazenby.
Yeah, who was in it once, and nobody thinks about that.
A lot of people. I feel a lot of people defend the one George Lazenby film as one of the more solid Bond films.
My brother's read all the books and says that Her Majesty's Secret Service is the last of the books because he retires married at the end of it before they did that sort of more recent.
I thought that
Bond
was
book.
You Only Live Twice, where he ends it retired and married. I think You Only Live Twice ends with him having amnesia and married to...
Doesn't it start with him with that?
No, it ends with him having amnesia and living in Japan, married to a Japanese woman who, knows who he used to be but doesn't want to let him remember because they're happy or something.
I think it's a plot of 7 Wolverine specials.
Of course, a lot of the Ian Fleming Bond books were very, very dodgy in their attitudes.
Timey racism.
I mean, we talk about, not being oversensitive about things, but Jesus Christ.
Well, there's a difference between interpreting someone who hasn't meant to be racist as racist, and then someone who is really just actively intending to be racist.
Well, it was the times, Racist and sexist, of course.
You gotta have both.
And he was homophobic.
I didn't know that. That's the trifecta, really.
Yeah, racist, sexist, and homophobic. That's the lot. I don't think the only reason he wasn't transphobic is because he probably didn't think they existed.
If you told him that, his head would have fucking exploded.
Yeah.
This lady started out as a man.
I don't get you. What?
Tarnation?
That's insane. That's like saying a squirrel can turn into a dog.
I don't understand. Stop lying to me, I'm old.
But what if I found myself sexually attracted to a man?
Then I'd have to kill them. It's the only thing that makes sense.
Then I'd have to kill them and myself.
Yeah.
And then, like, douse myself in petrol like a character in a Lovecraft story.
I saw the penis.
Yes. Like, there was a Lovecraft story where a guy literally discovers his great-grandmother was a native from Darkest Africa, and he responds by covering himself in oil and lighting himself on fire.
Making him as black as his grandmother.
I think the point was that the African native was actually some kind of weird ape creature.
Yeah,
like the
it was...
Migo. But that's just how Lovecraft thought of black people, I think.
Yeah, it was mixed race particularly. Like, he was very funny about, like,
Well, that was the whole...
This
point
tree
of
talks.
that was the whole point of the Shadow of Innsmouth.
Yeah.
It's an analogy for race mixing.
You don't want to get the Innsmouth look.
Because you'll turn into fish. Not quite seeing where you're getting from A to B there, old Howard P.
Yeah, there's a...
You marry a black man, you'll turn into a fish.
Do I get underwater breathing powers? Like, is that a legit...
Yeah.
Awesome.
Then you go and live in, the underwater city forever.
There was a kid I grew up with in Goodna who said that Aborigines could smell blood in water.
He was thinking of sharks.
Yeah, well, his dad said that as well.
Hey, you're walking on water.
Yep.
How did you know you could do that?
Because it had that little line of shells.
So did someone tell you to do that?
Yeah, it's in the FAQ, but I remembered the island was here from the first playthrough.
Oh, I see, you
many
cheated.
years ago.
You're a dirty cheat.
Yep.
I mean, I figure
Guess what's on this island?
There's got to be something somewhere that tells you how to get there.
Yeah, like there's a guy called Pirate Pete who says there's a strange island full
Jesus
of ducks.
Christ! It's your nightmare. A duck that can fight back.
I'm a giant duck.
Yes, he said as much.
And
Quack, quack,
fun,
I'm a duck.
Kind of broken Monkey Island music. I was kind of worried about, like, want to play our game, because that sounded like a thing where he was just going to start attacking me, and then I was going to die.
Yeah, it's the Wicker Man again.
Yeah,
Welcome to our isolated island community. Would you like to play with us? We've got a special game for outsiders.
Yeah. Outsiders. That's an alarm bell.
Can we introduce you to our giant wicker hen?
Oh, I don't want to go in that. Jesus.
That read like a conversation from Hopkins FBI, which is a really horribly made game, adventure game.
Oh, never heard of it.
And if you want to talk about shitty attitudes, then that's really weird about violence against women. But that game sort of boasted, 150 characters with a unique conversation with all of them. But virtually all the conversations are, "Hello, who are you? I'm a woman standing here. What's your job? I stand here. Okay, see you later."
I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, there's some good Let's Plays of it out there.
I don't know, I prefer to play through it myself.
Yeah, why not?
See all these fun and bizarre attitudes toward women.
Yeah, just weirdly detailed pictures of women getting their throat cut in such a way that exposes their tits. I think it was made in France. It was some non-English country.
Not normal.
Yeah, one of those non-English countries they have. Just
Why do they still
they're
have
all
those?
they're all the same, aren't
Yeah.
they?
What did we have colonialism for if it wasn't to fix that problem?
Yeah.
Damn you. Learn English good. These are the slightly faster pill bugs that's sort of annoying.
What? What did you say just then?
So
Say
these-
the exact words that you just said.
These are the slightly faster pill bugs.
That was not the exact words you just said.
Yeah, it was.
You said this is the slightly faster version of Pillbug.
I think you just misheard me.
I heard you very clearly.
Okay, well these are the slightly faster pill bugs.
Thank you.
That are slightly faster.
What does flaster mean? Is that
It's a bit like faster, but
that
they
like
also have an
plast-
increased damage.
is that like plastering, but where you use flour instead of plaster and all falls apart?
That's paper mache, isn't it?
Yes.
Paper mache your own walls. So this is me going for that beautiful island of delights and treasures and money that we saw earlier.
Glad to hear it. It's papier-mâché, by the way. If you're gonna pronounce one of the word French, you might as well pronounce both of them.
What does mache mean? I just mash?
Presumably.
Yeah.
But what does papier mean?
I'm guessing it's cheese.
I've heard like some people in England refer to it as paper mache.
Yeah, well that was what I got told it was called when I was a kid and we were doing it in school.
Paper mache.
I'm gonna paper mache some shit.
It's paper mache things.
Yeah.
It's papier mache.
Or just paper mash.
Paper mash, yeah. Let's not be all pretentious and French about it. Insisting on pronouncing profiterole properly.
A friend of mine tried to teach me French pronunciation once, and
well, most of it's just pronouncing the R with the noise at the back of the throat.
That's the bit that you have to choke on a carrot to pronounce the R correctly.
As in lingerie.
Yeah. Well,
See, I can do it. Why can't you? Are you not as good as me or something?
I'm not as French in the Frenchness.
Yeah, I have to take you to Gay Paris. It's easy. It's like you like coughing up phlegm. Like you do that. Yeah, because you're trying to get the phlegm out, and then you just do the first bit. Papier.
Oh, fuck you, slime.
Paris, lingerie. I'm gonna buy some lingerie in Paris.
Some fancy lingerie.
French pronunciation lessons. All here, and let's play, stroke, drown out, whatever this is.
Let's stroke.
Let's cough up phlegm. Let's cough up phlegm over Dink Smallwood.
Let's stroke out Yahtzee's ego. I like those monsters because they tend to take care of themselves for me.
Do you see? I killed my friend. Are you satisfied? Do you like it? Do you like it?
Love me. I'm gonna have to wait a minute to get across that bridge.
Well, that's getting pretty effective.
Yeah. Not on these guys, though, and can't walk through this.
Oh dear. This is just trolling you now.
Yeah,
there's no dodging around it.
No, at this point I'm just like, okay, this is the hard barrier.
I'd be really worried if they could move vertically. Oh shit!
Yeah, they act when I hurt them they go, hey, and come after me.
Do they get their health back when you leave the room and come back in?
Yes, I'm not allowed to do that.
Of course they do.
And the damage trade is not good.
Should have min-maxed your defense a bit more, scrub.
Defensive potions are the hardest ones to find. Attack ones all up the fucking joint. Magic ones crop up a lot later.
Well, then you should focus your leveling up points on defense, obviously,
well,
if you want to min-max.
I didn't know that at this point. This is me trying to work out if this is feasible.
You've played this before, and yeah.
Not since
it happened again.
Yeah. Not since like...
Okay, that's not gonna work.
You know, the early 2000s, I want to say.
You're gonna come back later?
Yeah. This is, alright.
Yep, you're not hiding to nothing there.
Yeah. This is I think when the edits start, cause I'm just like, because there was literally just, okay, I've got to just go make me strong and find some more potions.
Let's go grind like a cafe barista. Grinding beans.
Grind the beans. Grind the millet. I think I scooped my way across.
It seems to have gone by faster than our other 3-hour videos. Maybe I'm just
really...
maybe I'm just tired and in the zone and sort of like on automatic.
I think it's because you haven't played it.
I've played
it, so I'm going mental.
I'm gonna listen back to all this and hear a load of stuff I don't remember saying. Probably some very horrible things that I will regret.
Delightful things. Still got your career though, so it's okay. You haven't destroyed that yet, which is...
Have you ever tried stream of consciousness talking?
No, I'm not good at it.
I've seen some like Let's Players do that just because they, like, for some reason, they don't want to leave any silence at all. So they just drone and drone and drone until you feel like they're getting a real insight into their psyche.
What ones can you recommend that are like that?
There was a guy on Something Awful forums. What was his name? I forget. He used to do like Mario games, and he'd just keep talking and talking and talking. And he'd like. He used to refer to Yoshi as the horse. He had a weird accent.
Congratulations.
Someone will know.
Of course, there's YouTube comments.
In the comments.
They'll probably comment.
Yes.
So, okay, here's a way to make money. Gambling! That seems trustworthy.
Oh.
Yeah, so I gave up and skipped that.
Get your quick save on.
I was looking online to see if maybe it was a predictable pattern and I could kind of just game it to get some cash, but... No, apparently not.
Do you want to try stream of consciousness talking?
No, I really don't.
All you have to do is just not think about what you're saying.
You do it.
Okay, well, we're walking along the beach here because we're going to find something to kill, and we found some slimes and a big monster. He must be the teacher, planning a nice venture out into the field trip area that is the field. Having a field trip in a field, haha, I just made that up. There's a mushroom with red and white squares on it. That must be where Sonic did the bonus stages on Sonic and Knuckles. It was all on a big one of them, haha. Now we're walking between two bushes, which I think is one of the ways you can get AIDS. And now we're going to walk past this bit of wall, and now we're going to walk past a river, and now we're going to walk onto this path. Hey, this town's really sleepy, let's go in and murder everyone. And then maybe the town will be more active after that. Do you have food? I don't think you do, because you're a house. A house can't have food unless you eat the straw on the roof. But that will not be healthy, because we are not a panda, or a cow, because we do not give milk from our udders, and therefore we're not a cow. Oh no, that one threw a fireball at us, but we are not a cow. Presumably they thought we were, and thought they could have some barbecue beef later. But unfortunately that's not going to happen, because we, as I mentioned earlier, am a human and not a cow, and cannot be made into barbecued beef, no matter how much hot sauce you pour on me. Although I wouldn't mind you pouring a bit of hot sauce on me, young lady, and I see you're presenting for me now. This is going into dark places.
And here, 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes to get to somewhere peculiar. You're right about that. That's a fascinating window.
Why don't you try?
No, I'll stop and think. I know I will. I'll fuck it up.
That's always been your problem, hasn't it? You think too much.
Yep.
You should just
freewheel it.
Yeah, and then maybe you'd enjoy programs like The X Factor. Because you don't need to think anymore.
I'll just shut down.
Go on, try it. Go on, I did. Go on, try it for the listeners.
Yeah, but you're better at this. Like, you have, but you don't better talking...
The point is that it's easy, you just don't think. It's that stream of consciousness. Just say the first thing that comes to your mind.
See, immediately I'm thinking, I wonder what the first thing that'll come to my mind is.
I thought you'd started.
Oh, no, I don't want to do this. Doesn't interest me.
Spoil sport.
Well, you do, you have your things that you're good at it, and you're a finer presenter than I.
Well, perhaps you could aspire to improve your skill set.
I've got other skill sets I'm aspiring to improve.
Ha ha ha.
Now I'm just burning trees down because deforestation.
It's good to have backups. Anyway, it might be useful to be able to talk stream of consciousness when you're trying to teach people. Because they might, throw you off guard with a weird question, like, Mr. Morton, why is there war?
Well, honey...
Hey, don't call me that. I'm going to tell everyone you're a paedophile now.
When I was doing the, tutoring stuff at, Caboolture High, as I'm walking past these girls, there was, several times where I had to, clamp down on my brain to not laugh my ass off at something that happened. But I was walking past these girls, and one of them's talking about one of their teachers, and she just goes, yeah, I think he's a pedo, and... No, because she says pedo, because, here it's pedophilia, not pedophilia. And one of the girls just goes, you have to stop saying that about every teacher, or you're going to be the girl who cried pedo. And it... Just a meltdown in my brain, because that's one of the funniest fucking things I've just ever heard. And you can't laugh. If you're in any authoritative position, and as an adult in a school you can't laugh at the dumb shit the kids do.
I find it heartening that there is a stigma attached to being the person making false accusations.
Yeah, well, that was the other two girls were like, you can't just go around calling everybody a fucking pedo. That's... Yeah. You gotta be the girl who cried pedo. The other thing that nearly killed me was actually in class, and the teacher was explaining about how to spell a word, and a common, error is to add an extra L. So she goes, you don't want to double up. And then, behind me, this kid just yells really loudly, double up, And...
What does that even mean?
That's from Sir Mix-a-Lot's Baby Got Back.
Oh, I see.
And for starters, this is a class full of Year 8s, so how is he even aware of this fucking song? And secondly, nobody else acknowledged it.
It's the internet generation, man.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
can't hide shit from them.
But nobody else, nobody looked at him, nobody said anything. The class just kept on as normal. This is just a regular occurrence. It's just this one kid just blurts out Sir Mix-a-Lot lyrics occasionally.
Well, you want to do... that thing that some comedians do to get the easy laugh, where someone does a weird laugh, you sort of look directly at them with a slightly disturbed look on your face.
So just the fact that nobody responded at all is just cracked my fucking brain, and I was trying not to laugh.
So you were talking pretty constantly there.
Well, yeah, because I was talking about something with a purpose.
I suppose.
That's a narrative.
I suppose you had an anecdote prepared.
That's an occurrence that happened to me. That pedo thing was fucking funny, though, dude. Like, the girl who cried pedo.
Oh, hey, another instance of let's look through the art assets for something that can look like a believable item of worship.
Yep.
And then we'll enlarge it and make it gold.
Giant gold.
There's a lot of mock Tudor around here.
Tell me that doesn't look just like Beckencroft.
I was thrown for a moment. Actually, I was thinking that, yeah. But
that is the Wikipedia entry picture for grinding.
Serious?
Yes.
Huh.
I gotta ask them. I need to know. It's gonna drive me insane. So yeah, basically, there's a rock that you need to buy a bomb to blow up.
Hey, you got bombs now. It's
well,
like,
I have a bomb.
It really is Zelda.
Yeah, the bombs you can also use to hurt opponents, but it is pointless.
It's cut price indie Zelda.
And now we must murder.
Of course.
Yep.
Why do you have to murder all the ducks?
Well, you know, the people I've been talking to before, like the girl that threw the fireball and whatnot, this town worships ducks, but they're also starving because they give all their food and money to ducks. And they haven't realized that I can kill ducks and turn them into delicious duck roasts.
Oh, yes, I remember this.
Yep, so now you have to double murder all the ducks. You can't just cut their heads off, you have to...
I'm guessing you got a superheated sword that instantly, like, skins, like, prepares guts and...
Bastes.
And,
dresses.
Slow cooks for several hours.
Yeah.
To make a mouth-watering looking ducky.
Oh, the sword was like 200 fucking gold.
Kill the ducks to save the town. That's the usual excuse.
Yep.
They're up to something, I tells ya.
Fucking parasitic priest class.
I'm just imagining like a shopping channel thing about the
sword that...
the maid's cooking sword. The first blow beheads the duck. The second blow adds a delicious honey glaze.
That would be a pretty fucking cool sword. Like
it really is, Michelle.
I want that.
It really is, Michelle. Now, how
I mean,
much would you think to pay for a sword such as this?
Well, I mean, obviously, if it does so much, it'd have to be at least 1,000 gold.
Well, I think I'm going to surprise you, Michelle, because
really?
you can get this miraculous duck beheading and cooking sword for a tiny, insignificant 1,200 gold.
That is amazing. Why don't we buy 2?
I'll tell you why. Because then we'd have no room for all the ducks that we're going to eat. Ah ha 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 ha!
Now my children won't go hungry. So your daughter is eating our god.
So the other good thing you can do with the ability to stream of consciousness talk is to riff and improv little comedy skits. And that is a much more useful skill than talking bollocks for 2 minutes.
So now the people have duck meat. And I've saved the town and gotten rid of their silly established religion.
You magically changed our supreme beings into food. Yes, I did. Now, how much do you think you'd pay for a service like this?
The frictions seem to cook.
Of course.
So they actually do go for a bit of an explanation of the...
That's how friction works. And also all their feathers disappeared because of a wormhole from space.
Yeah. The impact vaporized the feathers, the friction cooks the duck.
That's how it works.
Yeah, there's another girl that just says, "Buy Dinky, save the town."
And the honey glaze is added by cosmic vibrations.
Quantum speed. And now there's that.
Man, they work fast.
Yep, now some more grinding, and look at this, we got some more money.
Oh, hey.
Yep. There was such a horrible... There was like... I cut out a whole... I think about an hour and 15 minutes of solid grinding.
So wait, which one's the child and which one's the mother? Because they are identical. He didn't even resize them.
Just like me when I was your age, and now.
Yes. Maybe it's one of those weird rural marriages where his actual wife died, and so he married
the next one.
Married his someone's 16-year-old cousin.
It'll do.
And now we're off the map, it seems.
Yep, we're into the question mark territory.
Like in Metroid.
I've been playing the Prime series again lately. It came out on the Wii U.
Would that be because of the Prime Trilogy's release?
Yes, on the Wii U store. For $13 in the first week, which is
wow,
actually
that sounds like
price.
such a good deal. I'm wondering why I'm not running out and buying it right now, Michelle.
Well, it's over, and now it's $26, which is much less reasonable.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
I guess you snooze, you lose.
Yeah,
Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha.
Did you ever stay up late and watch infomercials?
No.
I did.
Because that would be mad.
I used to smoke a lot of pot. So, infomercials were kind of fun to watch.
So this is the nuclear bunker of the fantasy world.
Yes. And we're in here for reasons.
Oh, we're a famous hero now.
Apparently.
We've been read about.
Yes. Our legend has spread far and wide.
We read about you. It was on a rock in the last town. I read your name from a bit of wall.
One thing to say about this place, it has an excellent literacy rate for what is essentially an era of kings and peasants.
Must be nice to have your own logo.
Well, I was going to say, don't you have logos and...
Well, Zero Punctuation has a logo.
Oh.
Although I do have the little thing I put on my autograph signature. That's kind of like a logo. Where it's sort of a Y and a Z, where the long line of the Y is parallel to the central line of the Z.
He writes just how people talk. So yeah, okay. There was a little edit there where it went from between the like I edited it out. I died in this fight probably about 10 times because you're meant to kill the monsters, and the guy says protect the women. So you're not meant to hit the women. The women just walk around.
Fun.
Yeah, the woman in the green just gets in the way frequently. So the amount of times I died, not because the dragons murdered me, but because there's jumping in the way of the fucking sword.
Oh, that's a lot of dragons. Or at least there's a new monster sprite to play with.
Yeah, this is the live version of the worshipped dead dragon. And they don't actually have an attack animation, they just cast hurt.
Shit, they'll be worshipping.
Look, see, she just scoots in the way, and I'm having to stop at this point because like I know what you're doing. You're doing that thing where you run in front of me and die.
Hashtag casts harm. They're just shouting that at you. You're at a dragon LARPing session.
Yeah, it does feel very LARPy.
Cast harm, cast harm. Nuh-uh, potion. I'm noticing a cut there.
Yeah. Just edit. I think that was another one when the woman just jumped in the fucking way again.
Oh man, you'll be swamped with dead dragon carcass cultists. Perhaps you could sell them souvenirs.
Yeah, that's kind of like dashboard Jesuses and shit. I don't know what the plural of Jesus is. Jesus.
Oh, they built their town on the nest.
Yeah.
And they were basically deserved to die.
Yep. Run away.
Fat lot of good that scythe was he had.
Doesn't do anything. And now you have a store where you can buy throwing axes, which I didn't bother buying because they're exorbitantly expensive.
Throwing axes. Now it's Castlevania on top of everything else.
Yeah. I don't know. Knowing my luck, the throwing axes are probably like some of the best things in the fucking game. But having had a rough experience with the bow and fucking arrow,
trying to remember now. Yeah, I'll probably get a load of comments saying, yes, they're the best weapon in the game, and if you didn't have them, then you deserve to be killed.
Yeah, you're stupid for not knowing. I'm gonna see you on RT.com. And...
everyone who comments on our videos talks like this.
It's pretty much what I imagine.
Yes, every single one of them.
That or like, I'll have you know.
I'll have you know.
Yeah, now the dude sells throwing axes for $3,000.
Get grinding.
Yeah, no, I was like, no, I'm not buying the axes. No one's telling me I can't get in somewhere without axes, so the axes can get fucked.
Is your next grinding skip picture going to be a big picture of a coffee grinder?
No.
That's the visual analogy I tend to use in Zero Punctuation when grinding comes up.
Oddly, it didn't even occur to me, because I don't know, I just didn't think coffee grounds for some reason.
Just thought of Marge Simpson grinding her teeth.
Yeah.
And...
no, actually, I just googled Google image grinding to see what would pop up.
Well, there's your problem. Should have searched for grind on itself.
Yeah.
Or grinder.
Well, I was more curious about grinding. Just to see, what does Google associate with this?
What does grinding mean to the world?
Yeah.
What
Fun fact, it's like 2 clicks away from kids humping. That was one of the things that Google suggested.
Nice.
Yeah, which wasn't unusual.
Who doesn't like to see some kids having a healthy, humpy time?
Gotta get some kids humping into you before you finish with internet for the day.
Nothing wrong with some young people exploring their... yeah, I'm leaving that where it is.
Yeah. I'm watching you look around the room for an escape route. Just go, I can...
Okay, that's the disadvantage with being able to talk off the top of your head.
Things just come out
sometimes it takes you to places you didn't want to go.
Reminds me of a great...
kind of like the Pacific Highway. Oh!
Alright, that's weird.
What was that doing there?
That must have been like a little sub-edited bit that I just left out.
What demented video editing program were you using?
It's not the program's fault. It's just I get tired about 2 in the morning editing. just like, oh, I must have missed that bit.
You know what would help?
Huh?
A work ethic!
I have a work ethic for things that aren't this.
Yeah, we've been over that. We've been over what you think a work ethic is.
I'm gonna monetize your ego videos, I'll give me a work ethic. I was gonna say, yeah, people get paid for work. You're talking about a volunteer ethic.
Alright then, call it what you will.
I can finally reasonably trade blows with Pokesaurus.
Yeah, except she, like, knocks off more health than a Dark Souls boss in one hit.
Oh yeah, it's not a good... It's still not a positive trade, but I'm actually doing, you know...
You missed!
4, 3... just
4, 5.
Yeah.
Crack open the bubbly, Martha. We made a 5.
Yep. I don't know how much health
Oh, down to 2.
have. Yeah, down to 2. The 2s are just
See,
like,
a 2 to 5 range, that's a lot of random spread.
Yeah. And I couldn't discern what the fucking...
A claw sword.
Yep, I bought me a claw sword, so I finally have a slightly better
if I
sword.
do? Let's see if it looks different to your other sword.
No, it doesn't.
Nope.
No. I get a light sword later, and it's made of light, and it doesn't look different when I
Of course not. I mean, that's just taking the existing sprite and just painting over it. Just like go into Photoshop, add like a single white line over the sword, add the glow effect. That's all you need.
Remember this when we get to one of your games and you reuse a bunch of shit.
I use the shit out of the glow effects in some of my games.
Oh no, this... Oh, you mean for the... Oh, right, yeah. Okay, the light sword. I thought you were talking about the claw sword again.
Hope you like lens flares.
I'm looking forward to seeing more of your games. Yes. You showed me a little bit of the Duke 3D mod.
Yeah, I think that'll be our next one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun. Do I get to play it, or are we going to record it and then...
Oh yes, you're going to see how intuitive my level design was.
Huh. I choose to take that at face value.
If Poacher's any judge, not very.
Oh, I didn't think Poacher was
Everyone gets stuck on the oil rig, from what I've seen, with people playing Poacher.
I can't remember that.
Yeah, it's where
It
you
was
have...
a while back when I...
It's where you have to shoot switches to change where black slime comes out of pipes. You smacked your chops again.
Yes, that's my... That's a specific chop smack of... Oh.
Don't make excuses, just try not to do it, please. Because you don't...
I don't have a problem with it. Like, I listen to NPR, it doesn't bother me.
Well... When I look back on the comments for the... I can't remember which video it was. I think it was one of the Rob Black ones. It was all like, Jesus Christ! The lip smacking! It feels like there's a small dog making friends with my ear.
Yeah, these are YouTube comments. They need something to complain about.
Half of them were saying it.
I don't care.
No, it's...
Honestly, I really don't fucking give a shit.
No, it's clear you don't.
Remember, I do these as a favor to you.
You know, I've got other friends who are interested
Awesome.
in joining me for these.
Fucking awesome. It's their job now.
Oh, I see. You do this on sufferance. That was me thinking this was just something we did as pals.
Well, it is, normally, and then you make it work.
No, I don't.
No?
It's fun to make something good.
Ugh.
That's not work. That's that sense of satisfaction you get from it. Creates enough fun for it to be not work. That's my attitude.
This is a little scene that I should have found way earlier in the game, but just didn't for some reason. Like, you know how I walked through this dock area a bunch?
Oh, we're finally getting a plot?
No, this is just random. This is a random scene. It has nothing to do with anything.
Of course not.
Yeah. So now these guards were supposed to be a difficult fight, but now I'm OP as shit. So
this is a thick collection of ducks.
Yeah, it's the place with loads of ducks.
Hey, you're moving fast all of a sudden.
Yeah, I've got the Scooty boots on. See?
Oh, did you get that off screen?
Yeah, I just edited that out because it was a really long walk all the way back to like the Scooty boot seller,
right.
And then I just...
Is that what they're actually called?
No, they're like the herb boots.
Look at you go!
Yeah,
you've been on the caffeine.
Twitching.
Punch something.
I think there is. I think later you'll see me because I go to the fun island of magical piles of gold and shit while I've got the Scooty boots on. Because I discover it's a really good way of dealing with those pokey dudes, because they attack really slowly.
You made a whole gold piece.
Yep. That was worth my time.
Okay, that was what you went for.
That's an ancient Egyptian statue of millet grinder.
I see. Didn't you already pick these up?
No, remember I tried to get here and there were 2 monsters in the way that frightened me.
That's right. I guess that now we know why this was such a good treasure haul.
Yeah. But basically, now that I've got Scooty Boots on, I can just run up and go 100 hand slap!
Yeah, and now you're using different fonts with every time.
That was just on it. That picture came with grinding written on it, so I was like, oh, I'll use that one.
I see.
But now I've accomplished the little mini-quests, and that has given me enough renown to go speak to that.
Look at him. He's a Lego king. He's a Lego king trying to pass as one of us. That's why he's covered himself in beard and crown.
A legitimate giant, or 4 people who have combined to form a king.
Yeah, they're just all like 4 guys in a suit. It's like a pantomime king, like a pantomime horse.
Yeah. Sometimes the bottom half and the top half go in opposite directions and it's funny and everybody laughs.
We're getting quite near the end now, aren't we?
Yeah. Because I cut out the fucking walking and grinding until we get to... There's a new area which I wander around for a little bit just to give you a look at and then cut the fucking grind. And then there's the final Doom area which I do the same thing for.
Okay.
Get to see some of the new...
And we get to see the final boss, which I do have a very clear memory of. But we'll get to that when we get to that.
The final boss, which does some weird shit even by what it... You know, even when you see it and it's like, this is odd and strange. It has some really strange dialogue that I'm not entirely sure why it's in the game.
I sort of like tuned out for a second, and when I tuned back it said something about being guided into a passage.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're back there. We're back on that lowest common denominator, wanking like chimps on a branch.
In the Darklands.
In the Darklands,
Yep.
where all the chimps and branches are.
A horde of masturbating monkeys. I couldn't tell if there's a way to get that defensive potion.
I don't think you're following the proper etiquette for meeting a member of the royal family here.
Yeah.
I think you're just supposed to bow low and walk out backwards.
Yeah, wander off.
Can't turn your back on the queen. Big faux pas, that.
Really?
Apparently.
Huh. Do you know why?
It's respect, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
It's a, symbolic thing.
Fair enough. I will not
Well,
claim
I
to
don't
be
know.
up on hold
Maybe it's because the queen has a tendency to throw throwing knives at people when they don't realise it.
I want that to be
So
true.
it's just a piece of good advice.
Turn out, 100 years after the queen dies, that
I can
She
imagine
actually
Queen
killed loads of
Victoria
people.
doing it. She had a weird sense of humour.
Isn't Mary quite contrary about her?
I've never heard that. You're a very brave man, Sir Tiny Penis.
Look at the giants!
Hey, new monster!
They're immune to magic.
Shit!
Yeah, so...
Better get your
can't-
arrow on.
Oh yes, the incredibly rapid and useful archery.
What does Dink menu do?
Dink menu is the... Okay, so yeah, I get...
Potions
One-
up the butt.
Well, when I thought I could 100-hand slap them, but the problem is the damage range for punch on the giants is everything from 1 to below, so nothing.
Yeah, and they got like a 3-frame attack there.
Yeah...
Shit!
That's... yeah.
You first bloated 1 and you exploded 10. That's an even worse randomness range.
Yeah, these are not fun to fight at this level. After a few grind edits, I think I'm at, 52 for attack.
Rock monster!
Yeah, and look at that. It's just bonk. Oh. And look, there's... Am I hitting it?
Oh, you're on a sliver there.
Yeah, that's...
Rock monster! Rock
realizing
monster!
You probably got lyrics for this.
I've forgotten how that bit goes.
Gonna have this stuck in my head.
Something like that.
Go home and listen to that on YouTube to scratch that itch.
I don't know the lyrics to Rock Monster as well as I know the lyrics to Love Shack. If you see a faded sign at the side of the road that says 15 miles to the...
20. Look, 1, 6, 18. Ha!
Should have
And
buffed.
then I die.
Should have buffed defense. Okay then.
I've seen a lady do that act live.
Do you have more defense now?
Yeah, 9. Check it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much difference it'll make.
Because again, defense seems to be a bit odd because it's the least common, like, you know, power up you find.
I imagine if you suck that lady, she will taste like green apples.
Or the dreaded watermelon.
That's me talking off the top of my head again.
I do like the green apple, the fake green apple flavor.
I do. I bought some toffee apple M&Ms today. I'd never seen them before, and thought I need to try those.
Where'd you put them?
In the fridge, where M&Ms belong.
Oh, I thought you might be eating them. You should have a quick bite and review one.
Shall we do that?
Yeah, I'll go get them because I'm like right nearby.
Okay then. Gabriel is off to fetch my toffee apple M&Ms. Meanwhile, Dink Smallwood is trying to threaten a man by waving his sword around like he usually does, and questioning his choices of living arrangements.
I feel weirdly small.
Thank you. It's in a weird, sort of transitioning purple, yellow, and green bag.
Ah, we're coming up to Easter. I can see if you can eat 7 fucking cream eggs.
We're already selling cream eggs.
Huh?
We're already selling cream eggs. They're everywhere. Haven't you seen them?
No, I don't.
Okay, here we go. I'm about to try a small handful of toffee apple M&Ms. Brace yourselves.
Dun, dun, dun. Are they like regular M&Ms, like candy around chocolate, or are they?
Bear with me.
Alright. Positive name.
Well, I'm getting the apple. Oh, there's the toffee. Toffee's on the finish.
Yeah, okay. So that's... Is it the artificial green apple and like a warm toffee flavor? Because I don't know if those are going to go together amazingly well in my mind. Like I think
they're not bad. I think the crispy
wow, you can
shell...
smell the apple from here.
I think the crispy shell has the apple flavouring, and the chocolate has the bit of a toffee flavouring.
That would make sense.
Would you like one or two?
I'll have a look at the ingredients list first, because M&Ms can sometimes contain things that,
He's allergic to a bunch of shit.
Yeah, well, peanuts, chickpea, ground nuts.
May contain nuts.
Everything says may contain nuts. If it says may contain nuts, it's safe. That's just them legally covering their ass.
Right. Well, you say that. But then, no, I'll just hear tomorrow about your untimely death.
That's a bit weird.
Yeah, not bad. They're not, like, horrendous. I could go for the rest of the bag. Not right now, though. Oh, hey, domestic disputes.
Yeah.
I wanted to wag my tail in that corner. No, I did.
So this is the sinister, evil realm.
Maybe they were maybe they were the kids reenacting around the Smash Brothers. I want to be Samus. No, I want to be Samus.
Shut up.
Now I will put these back in
I've
the
also
fridge.
got Hellfire now, which is a magical spell that's actually useful.
Yes, it's Gabriel's turn to be alone on the mic.
Yeah. I didn't like those apple-y things. They're a little bit weird. It's a kind of strange combination of a kind of high-end piquant flavor, like the apple, that fake apple flavor, and then the sort of not great M&M chocolate. Yeah, look, Hellfire, boom,
Bam!
fucking does damage.
This is what you'll get in hell pretty soon, which is where you're going, bitch.
And this is the area of the game they've hidden literally all the money, experience, and power-ups.
Well, naturally, because this is what you do when your game's kind of shittily balanced, and they're coming towards the end. You need to make sure they're, like, ready for the fight.
Yeah. They just hit it all around. Now, see, look, I've got defensive 11. Waggles only does like 1 hurt to me now. I'm
Wow.
fucking walking around hardcore.
Wow, just call you Captain Waggle.
My health is getting like...
They waggle, but you just stand there with your hands on hips like Superman being shot with bullets.
Little pokies.
Fools, my flesh is impervious to your petty waggles.
I will waggle harder. I must waggle with all my might.
Whoa!
Yeah, I know, right? Because I was worried Hellfire was gonna suck like the bow and arrow.
Hold
and then,
the phone, Grandma.
Yeah, you take that as for a test run. Yeah, at this point I'm like, I need more defense.
Now I know why it takes an age to load.
Yeah, that's why I'm cranking magic at this point, because I just want that to load as fast as possible.
Your magic powers are like a Sinclair Spectrum. You have to pop in a tape and press play.
Put the correct...
Just picturing you holding out your wand and it just goes... Like those cassettes did.
My video games come on tape recorder. I only played a few games, like my aunt had one of those.
I didn't realise that that's basically just like the machine reading audio data. Because apparently there were some like home computing TV shows, like back in the day, where over the end credits they would play data, and if you recorded it onto a tape, it would actually work in that machine that used tapes.
Wow, that's actually really cool. Downloadable content back in the 80s.
Yeah, in a incredibly low-tech kind of way.
Yeah, kind of like someone Morse coding a game at you.
That would take a long time these days, wouldn't it? Just like broadcasting ones and zeros. Could be done. You'd be there a while.
Someone's gonna do that now. If people can play through fucking...
That's one way to pirate a game, I suppose. Across the telegraph network.
They'll never think to look.
Ha 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 ha.
These are ducks that can take damage and hurt you, finally. They can't take much damage, but...
See, this is the weird thing about computing.
It's just interpretation.
Basically, any piece of data, an image, a sound, a film, a video game, can be reduced to a single number.
Yeah.
But you can't copyright a number. So... you into this weird sort of grey area.
There are rules about how data gets copyrighted, though, right? Like I'm pretty sure they've covered this in.
Probably. I'm sure there's some precedent somewhere.
Yeah. Like it'll be, what arrangement and what pattern you have them in.
Hey, an attack potion, unless I'm mistaken.
Yep. Red's attack, blue's defense, purple's magic.
39 attack. You've come a long way, Mr. Smallwood's little boy.
Yeah. Boom. Fuck you, slime.
It is the day of slime reckoning.
Yep. It's what you get for fucking hovering around or squidging about.
Yeah, like a bunch of flannels.
Yeah, they really do, like... Just patches of someone's clothes.
Someone's pyjamas.
And my hellfire just hit a wall.
Greater harm? No one's done anything about greater harm. Well, you kicked that thing's ass.
Yeah, those things move ridiculously slow and just absorb damage. They're kind of pathetic. What they have going, I have no idea how I made it go diagonally, and it's something I couldn't repeat.
Yeah, that was weird. I was going to say, when it says resist magic, is that like something that your defense stat does, or your magic stat does, or is it just a completely random thing?
I have no idea. It just seemed to be random.
So if like the monster casts harm and the game decides you're going to take damage now, you're essentially fucked.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Because that's all the dragons do. They cast harm, and regardless of where you are, an explosion appears on you, and that's it.
A melee animation? No, I'm bored.
Nope. Harm.
They're just going to larp at you.
Yeah, here comes harm. Isn't in LARPs? Don't you have to like throw a thing and hit people?
I don't know. Do you?
I don't know. I thought there was some sort of.
I've never LARPed.
Neither have I. I've seen some documentaries on it though.
Oh god, we just opened the floodgates in the comments, haven't we?
Actually, it depends on what rule set you're playing by.
I LARP frequently. It makes me think I'm Captain Picard on the holodeck.
At least you're getting outside, getting some exercise. Good for you, champ.
I like to think Star Trek: The Next Generation was taking place in some alternate future where LARPing has become socially acceptable. So everyone LARPs on the holodeck.
So I grounded a bunch, and then found this little girl who tried to eat me.
I remember this as well.
Yeah.
Food! That's how dark the Darklands are. They make monsters of ordinary folk.
Now I'm at sort of god tier, so I've got 52 attack.
Oh, where do you get 52 attack from?
Like, fucking retracing my steps, and I'm at level 10 now.
Serious? Just like grinding experience?
No, not experience exactly, but there's a few hidden
Right. Mind that.
Ow, ow, ow.
Please don't throw yourself into the briar patch.
Basically just a bunch of rooms where I had to walk about, and it'd be like, here's a room with another bunch of dragons in it, and the casts harm, whether or not they did it seemed to be random, and whether or not it hurt you seemed to be random. So there'd be some areas where I'd just walk into the screen, and harm would just hit me like 8 times and I'd die.
Looks like you found yourself in harm's way.
And so I just edited out a bunch of, like this.
Ah!
No, there was more than one screen like this. But fortunately,
Merry Christmas!
yeah, fortunately, Poco and the dragons hit each other, and the dragons will cast harm on Poco. So.
Right. Surprise for
Yeah.
he the jolly good fella.
Another every potion.
Yes, the average every potion.
Yeah.
The stock character.
And I'm now pretty much brave enough to just walk straight up to those guys.
So
And then I
now,
thought, fuck that.
so now I'm thinking that the smiley with a little O for a face goes,
That's pretty much how I read those as well.
yeah, sort of a massive inward rush of air.
Yeah. And now you'll notice this little stairwell to the boss, that's not protected by anything or anything. You just can go down there at any point, and depending on whether or not you've grinded enough,
Grinded.
yeah, you're okay to win.
Okay,
This is me running back to the free health.
it's a highway to hell.
Yeah. Pretty much exactly that, as we'll see when we get down there. And come to the thrilling-ish conclusion.
The thrilling
of-
conclusion of the villain we have never met
Never
before,
met.
or ever had mentioned anywhere.
Yeah, see, well, I think the king brought him up, but
Right.
that was
Yeah.
like once.
How long
kind of
did we
about
get through
three-quarters
this
of the way.
before? It's Sierra again, isn't it? The plot doesn't actually come into it until, like,
Yeah.
somewhere
Well,
between the midpoint and the end, right?
It's an example of that thing of huge idea to start with, and then, gotta finish it.
It's like you're saying, I'm going to make a fantasy RPG, and that's as far as I thought before I started making it.
I'm gonna have the openings and potential for shitloads of subquests and interesting characters, and then just
Hey, what's that ship doing?
I don't know. It just vanishes.
Yeah, that's a weird little detail, that.
And
Oh no,
here's
it's
poor
generic
Milda.
corpse.
Yeah.
Oh,
This one's Milda.
Milder. I assumed it was milder always.
I think I'm pronouncing it Milda because I pronounced it Midler the first time I read it, and then
Yeah,
just,
no, you did
just
at the
got
start of this video.
the short eye in my head.
That fire is functioning like the audience in a final fight, boss fight. Going, yay, smack him one! You're just missing the guy pumping his fist.
Street Fighter fist pump, dude. Everyone just stands around to watch the street fights.
So if I recall correctly, at this point, there's two conversation options, and you can get a comedy conversation or a non-comedy conversation, depending on which one you pick. See, this is the straight one.
Yeah.
It's saying, oh, you have come so far, small penis, tiny wang.
Stupid fucking pig farmer. Finally closure. Emotional closure. My arc is complete.
Yeah. Oh, here it comes.
I owe you an apology for all the self-insert jokes.
Yeah. You remember after Rob Blank 3, that sort of, we had an almost little minor meme going on Twitter.
That was fun.
People taking that picture of me
and
and putting it all over things. At
I'm
least
basically bored of
I
that, by the way.
didn't make myself the final boss fight.
yeah. Huge shoulders, Croshaw smash.
His name is Seth.
He killed all the others, and he can cast explosions.
Of course he can.
And we get
Oh,
this.
it's more IRC
Yeah.
conversations.
Fuck you, Seth.
Yeah,
And your amazing mid-90s hair.
I guess it's
Which I am a
better.
bit jealous of, to be honest.
Well, at least it's better than making himself the main character, who like all the ladies love.
Yeah.
Where you going?
Bone von Awesome.
Where you going? Where you going, Seth? With your two-dimensional head?
And your funny little backpack.
Probably just cut out from a photo.
Yeah. And he is so goddamn easy. Like, this is this, isn't it?
Yeah, we resisted your magic, bitch.
Watch Conan O'Brien. Huh?
What?
I know, like...
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't talk too much shit. It's a game's a pretty solid effort for like a solo or near solo project.
Close to solo, yeah.
It's probably better than with my like early solo stuff. Well, it is better. That's better than a lot of my solo stuff. I mean, I can't judge. I played through this game to the end back in the day.
Yeah.
It's all right. passes the time.
Something about the combat system that's just horrible and frustrating enough, but also strangely, like, you keep thinking, oh, if I can just run away from it.
It's horrible, but not so horrible that it totally breaks it. You just want to keep pushing towards the next level up.
Yeah, like, you're sure you can beat the thing by just scooting out of the way quick enough.
And there are cheeky gags.
Yeah.
Not many, like, official games had so much cheeky gags.
Nope, not back in the distant realm of 1997. Okay. Now I'm still being hurt. And at this point I'm like, I haven't saved. What's going...
Uh-oh.
Pop. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we will hurl ourselves off a cliff in victory.
Yeah, that was a tight clench moment. Well, technically I haven't won the game yet. I have to go talk to the king. And
you might have some other side questing to do before you finish.
Nope.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. Those aren't in there. I have a bunch of money. I could grind and get the massive bow.
Back to Mock Tudor House number 47. Yeah, I think some people made some, like, games in, like, Dink Edit that were way bigger than the base game.
That does not surprise me.
It's not that.
Yeah, like I say, the game, when you download it, has a link on the little menu you'll see at the start that says, other games, and you can go find other people's...
Was autosaving a new feature for the HD version?
Yes.
I don't remember it.
No, there was no autosaving in the original.
Right.
Although again, it says this has been autosaved. I have no idea where the autosaves go, because when I thought it might be the quick, like I was saying, same thing as the quick saves or something. It's not.
Who cares? The game knows where they are.
Yeah. I've got hidden Dink autosaves all over your computer. You'll never find them.
Yeah, they're just gonna breed.
Yeah. There's gonna be a terabyte of Dink saves in there.
And one day you'll turn on the computer and it'll just be a big picture of Dink covering the wallpaper going, I'm afraid this is my computer now.
Yes.
I cannot
Dinks.
Open the pod bay doors, Dink. I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that.
Can't do that, Gabe. I know, I've been in there before, Dink.
Yes, we're famous, bitch.
Yeah.
Yes. Would you like to walk over my body up to the king?
I can tell people to open.
Keep your voice down. You're shouting
I imagine
right
him
in my
sounding
ear.
like Brian Blessed. Smallwood has returned!
Gordon's alive!
Hello!
Evil Ancient Seth that we all know, who's really famous.
That no one brought up or mentioned
But who seemed really likable.
Yeah, he was a nice guy.
Somehow.
He was a likable ancient evil.
Oh.
Okay, here we go, yeah. So.
Thanks.
Took a boy and turned him into a hero.
Of course, he didn't physically change much, did he?
Unlike Yahtzee, who takes boys and turns them into men.
Oh, we went there again, didn't we?
It's a path that is well worn by you. RT Soft, yeah, that's still where you get this, which just is amazing to me.
Not as old as the Space Jam website.
So yeah, special thanks. So I'm trying to work out, like, I'm guessing it was just Seth that made it, but with Hap did some stuff.
I guess these guys helped a bit.
Yeah.
Or Seth's ego is so colossal. All the other people who worked on the game are just special thanks.
Mere supporting characters in my might.
It was easy to get a big ego in the early days of indie development.
I don't think that's changed.
No, people didn't. That's not food. That's potions. You dumb king.
Can't live on potions.
Yeah, they all taste like Pepto-Bismol. I think we established. You've just attacked me, your king. My favourite subject, history.
I'm trying to see if there's anything else I could do. Like maybe there's a new game plus that opens up.
Nope. Okay.
Yeah, the guy doesn't react or respond or care.
They just can't even compete.
Fun fact, now I can't get back into the castle.
You dumb shit.
So what was it like the old days? Riding high.
Oh, it was beautiful. We all, gathered together in the evergreen meadow where we made games, and then we'd suck lemonade from the bollocks of unicorns.
Unicorns was like a name for people who'd actually finished their game.
Yes.
Of which you were the prince. Prince of Unicorns.
Go kill King Daniel.
Yeah, I thought, that's what I thought. Oh, maybe I can go just beat him up or do something. And then... No. Decided to one-hit... Yeah, decided to annihilate a pillbug just out of spite.
Yeah, how far we've come.
Well,
We killed the bugs. Oh dear.
Ta-da! That's the end of Dink.
No more free potions for you.
Nope. And now we're finished.
Why are
Dink is
you
finished. Dink
Why
is
are you
done.
wearing a Nazi armband, Dink?
Oh, because I support National Socialism.
I figured as much.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to ostracize you now.
I don't want to talk to you about your theories about Jew bankers.
So, what have we learned? We've learned that smileys make specific noises.
Yeah, smileys make noises.
I think the one with the tongue out goes, "Arr." I think that was what we'd established. We learned that
Yahtzee,
you can get a
all
lot of-
roads in Yahtzee lead to filth and pedophilia.
you can get a lot of mileage out of a single grass texture. We've learned that.
It is a lot of mileage, actually, considering the amount of space that has been made.
And we've learnt that next time we'll be doing my Duke 3D mod, apparently.
I'm looking forward to that. I enjoy playing your old games.
Well,
Because it's a surprise for me. It's like, it's new, it's interesting. You get really embarrassed, which is always just a delight.
Well, how about you indulge us and just attempt to do stream of consciousness before the end?
What, like now?
Yeah. Go.
I find it interesting. Okay, I find it interesting that Yahtzee complains constantly about like him worrying about it getting too lowbrow, but then just sort of naturally gets comfortably back there. And I think that that's because there's not something so bad about lowbrow. That's about as good as that. See, you complain about me waffling all the time. Like that's what do you think that is?
Well,
That's waffling when you don't like it. It's
Well, I
stream of
don't
consciousness
usu-
when you want it.
well, I don't usually stream of consciousness, and that's why. See, when you stream of consciousness, you got no real control out of what comes out of your mouth. I could start talking about apples or dolphins or dolphins with apples in their mouths and sausages falling off buses because the butcher had butterfingers because he'd just been sticking butter all around his dog's asshole. Already we got there. It didn't take long, did it?
You know what I think it is? I think you have a desire inside to not go somewhere weird, and that fucking
Yeah,
just
it's
shuttles
when-
you straight to Strangeville. You're
it's
like,
when you
okay, don't
say-
say something about dogs' assholes.
when you say to
Shit.
someone, don't think about pink elephants.
Yeah.
And
well,
suddenly that's all they can think about.
ping.
So when you say don't look down.
Mm.
Oh, and by the way, listeners, you just lost the game.
Ah.
I hate that.
I don't even know what it is.
Well-
I've seen it on the internet, that's it.
Oh, the people who know what it's about will know what it's about. And for some reason, they will probably dislike me for saying that, even though it's the stupidest thing in the world.
Millennials.
Yes. You should just, set your alarm clock to say, you just lost the game. And then you never have to worry about it.
You just will continue to live in blissful ignorance of what that is.
Thanks for joining us play Penis. Good night, everybody.
Toodaloo. Where do I go?
Let's see if we can beat off...
Hard.
Oh. I was going to say, let's see if we can beat off to orgasm in the time it takes for him to realise he's still recording. Save point. Didn't like the look of that.
No, well, I sort of infrequent. I'm looking for...
Oh, hey. Some dosh.
Yeah, this is where we get into the money barriers. And
Right.
in case you haven't noticed, money's not just fucking everywhere at this point in the game.
Well, it's not in real life either.
Oh, no. Although, okay, one time, some crazy drunk dude tried to push past me at the door. And I sort of did like this little inside leg trip, which is real easy on drunk people. And when he went down, he actually had a bunch of change in his top pocket, and it just sort of spilled out in front of me. And I
Who-
took that change, because I earned it. Shift again.
Who keeps things in their top pocket, really?
Asshole drunks.
I mean, I say it because I was keeping my hotel room key in there this morning because I'd used up all my other pockets, and I dwelled on it because it was the first time I'd used my top pocket for anything in a very long
It feels
time.
weird with something up there, doesn't it?
Hey, his AI's fucked up
Yeah.
because the pathfinding around that
Doesn't
weird terrain
exist.
is too complex. Have a lovely shower, and I'll have a lovely shower of wands. Ha 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 ha.
It's so sad shooting acid rain and just saying like, one. So that basically does the damage of like 3 sword hits. But God,
Oh.
fuck getting too close to these things.
Oh, I think the monster's figured it out.
Damn you!
Does the tail hurt you? Because it looks like it should.
It always once you've hurt something, it faces you. It's kind of hard to get around behind it, especially considering the tail only really points 2 ways.
I imagine that monster is very bitter because it cannot masturbate with its 2 spiky hands. I went straight there again.
Maybe it has a hole. Maybe this is a lady monster.
You know what? Let's not be lowest common denominator. Let's instead say, I bet that monster is really frustrated because it broke its 50th attempt at making a ship in a bottle this morning.
It's unable to hold books on literature. Hey, more health!
Hey, more health, and just in time.
That's the other thing.
Pill bug might have done something nasty to you.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like, leveling up doesn't give you more health. Leveling up, like, does nothing in this game.
I thought it did.
No.
I seem to remember the first time you leveled up, you got a small amount of health.
It might give you a little, but, like, the hearts give you...
Yeah, the hearts give you a fuckload.
And again, you know, I'm level 4 now, I end the game at level 10. Like, you don't...
Why is
really
this
don't level
goblin
up much.
talking in a Newfoundland accent?
Because I guess the people who made this game were making fun of newfies.
I want to live with humankind.
Face. Come up with winky face.
Okay, that would be... Blah de blah de blah de blah. Because it's suggestive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, winky face is always suggestive.
Give me another.
I don't know many. Fuck, dude, I don't use these
tons
things.
of smileys, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know them. I don't use the damn things. I know there's the one.
We haven't even done sad face yet.
Oh, I forgot about sad face.
Okay, sad face would be blah de blah de blah de blah.
You could probably strip the audio from these and use them now, people.
What about the face with the tongue sticking out?
Well, you said it. You know these things, just...
Let me think about that one.
There's the one that uses the X, and I'm not sure what that means.
I think the one with the tongue
Capital
sticking
X.
out would be blah de blah de blah de blah. And the one with the X?
Yeah, like it uses like an X for eyes or something.
The X for eyes and the big capital D for a mouth?
Yeah.
What
does that one even mean?
That would probably require more enthusiasm than I'm capable of.
Oh, come on.
Okay, well...
You've been into this with much gusto.
Well, I kind of read a sort of threatening bearing of teeth in it, so I'd go blah de blah de blah de blah.
Huh. I wonder if that is a threatening one. It's kind of like a xenomorph doing the hissing thing when it leans into Ripley in Alien 3.
I wonder if there's a smiley for, I'm going to laugh at that comment, but you better watch your back, mister, if this goes any further.
I'm going to kill you in your sleep.
Let's douse for water with our sword for a few seconds, and continue.
Yeah, I have to follow the girl, because...
This seems to happen a lot. We seem to be being, like, led away for furtive encounters.
None of which are furtive. Or fun.
They just come across as furtive.
Yeah, like, shh. Secrets.
Come here, come here.
I'm going to tell you something.
There's something in there you're going to have to smash to death.
There's a treasure in the east. So now the mayor's in here for some reason, and...
Treasure in the east? I've never heard it called that before. Wow. Sorry, what was the suggestive one?
My left vagina.
Never heard it called that before, winky face.
See, there's the, it crops up again. Is she single? Ha ha, need penis to touch something.
Oh, penis, tiny penis. How, what a lovable loser you are. You're like Leisure Suit Larry in green tights.
But like a teenage Leisure Suit Larry.
So what about the smiley that's like a capital I for a mouth?
Oh yeah, that one.
That's a faintly disapproving look.
That's more like a...
That would be more like leveling up, it's only going to get quicker, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
ostensibly.
Finding attack potions. Yeah, like by the end I'm actually reasonably badass, but...
Because if your stats don't increase to the point that it takes less blows to kill something, then it's hardly worth the bother, really. And if it goes from hitting it twice to hitting it once, then fine. But if previously you hit it once for,
7, and now I hit it for 8.
Yeah.
No, it does get quicker. There's another one of those ones where you're really low level for like 80% of the game. And then for the last 20% it's just like, here's one little area with about 10 fucking strength power-ups.
Yeah. I guess it's like towards the end of Beyond Good and Evil, where they'd obviously wanted to have more like activities to unlock the the orbs that you use to like buy your way to the final encounter. But towards the end, they just go, by the way, here's a room full of orbs to make up the rest you need to win the game.
Fuck it. That's it. I'm pushing the fuck it button.
Yeah.
Still enjoy Beyond Good and Evil though.
Yeah, I mean the
sequel to that.
They released a trailer for it, but
a long time ago.
A long time ago, but I don't know what the fuck's going on. I think Ubisoft are more interested in making the same sandbox game over and over again.
Oh, that is so much easier. And people buy them. People buy them, Yahtzee.
Hope you like climbing radio towers to unlock the map. Hey, a mushroom that you can't do anything with.
Another massively conspicuous, I'm pretty sure used only once, sprite that is...
So that's the sort of thing where you'd think, obviously, I can only pick this up once I have started the quest that uses them.
Yeah, I need the mushroom picker gloves, of course. And then there's that.
Oh, yeah. Of course you say this, but there'll probably be someone on the comments saying, actually, there's a really hard-to-find character who gives you the mushroom quest. And I'm talking like this because I'm Boris Johnson, apparently.
I bet Boris Johnson does, like, still flame people on the message boards for Dink Smallwood.
Yes, I'm sure that's something he does. So, oh gosh, crikey, crikey, gosh.
I can't believe you don't know this, idiot. I like to, like, imagine that
American listeners now looking up who Boris Johnson is. Don't worry, we'll wait.
He's a character.
Yeah. He's a character who's somehow been voted in the Mayor of London. Mainly because he's just this sort of, like, humorous duffer, but he actually has some really shitty opinions as well.
Yeah. It's kind of like a slightly more benign-looking...
Like, he keeps making gaffes that really expose him as this sort of, like, Tory, out-of-touch ponce. And just people love him more for it. He's like a teddy bear.
Yeah.
He just made another hilarious, like, gaff.
Yeah, he's like a benign Clive... or a slightly more benign-looking Clive Palmer.
What do you say?
I like that we're finding noise...
It's like,
I wonder what this place is called.
It's like, I'm not sure I approve of this.
I make the full mistake of thinking that the bow and arrow would be useful to get, because it's 1,000 gold, and hey, it's another ranged attack. That's, you know, that's a big problem, is getting in close, is...
I noticed we couldn't be bothered drawing the slogan, the best in bows, on an actual sign. We just added a dialogue box and hoped you wouldn't notice.
It just sits over it really awkwardly. Here's the other thing too, I forgot. You actually need to buy the bow. It's essentially a key.
Oh,
so it's a $1,000 key, and I have like 300 fucking gold at the moment.
Of course it is. Yeah, I did pull this sort of thing in Galaxy of Fantabulous Wonderment. I did actually replay that recently in my spare time, after we did Rob Blank.
Ah, so you're going through the old...
Well, you know, I kind of wanted to do most of my games, sort of blank, but I just wanted to...
Must have.
Just wanted to have another check of that one properly to make sure it, like, worked properly, and I ended up playing through it all, because I think some of it still holds up. But,
hey, I'm looking forward to getting to your games that still hold up.
But there are bits in, like, Fantabulous Wonderment where the game just goes... you cannot continue until you pay 3,000 credits for the next item that gets you to the next thingy. But the point is, Galaxy of Fantabulous Wonderment had a lot of like side activities you could do to make money.
Yeah, that's at least.
And there's not much of that in this.
No, there's barely activities.
You grind for cash, that's all there is. Yeah, this could really have done with a few more like side activities.
Yeah. Just give purpose to something.
Why was there a pine tree growing on a beach?
And with a dude under it.
Bow lore?
Yeah.
So you need that to use a bow?
No, I bought bow lore as well, thinking, okay, the bow's kind of useless now, but if I get bow lore, it's gonna be... No.
So what does it do then?
It lets you shoot shitty arrows incredibly slowly, that move incredibly slowly, and do about as much damage as the fireball, but with a way slower shooting rate. So...
Gosh, Gabriel, I'm not sure why anyone would buy the regular bow.
Fucking no reason. Well, I mean, if the game forces you to buy the bow, it's
missed!
It's just a $1,500 fucking ticket to get into the Goblin Sanctuary.
Right.
And the Goblin Sanctuary exists because there used to be like a race of goblins, and there was a castle, and there was a war. The goblins lost, and now that's kind of like their reserve.
Hey, is that monster excited for the festival too?
I call him Waggles.
Waggy, waggy, waggy tail, waggy tail, waggy tail.
I just want to be petted.
Yes, scratch just above my ass.
Splat.
Hey, 64 gold. We'll have that total in no time.
No. Why, at the lightning fast pace at which I destroy these monsters, and the fact that they're everywhere is just...
Well, you keep...
Yeah, so this poor goblin looks like he's almost going to be interesting and have a plot and stuff, but he doesn't. He's just here.
Kill him.
No, I don't want to kill. I don't want to kill poor George.
Yes, you do.
He kind of gives me a little bit of plot info.
Mog. That was a character from Final Fantasy. He was a Moogle.
What's the deal with the Moogles in that?
They
I haven't really played
They are
much
the
of
cute mascot thing they
Yeah.
put in so they can sell toys, like the slime from Dragon Quest.
Slime.
You smacked your chops again.
This guy's saying slime.
I can say slime without smacking my chops, but then I learned how to talk properly. Slime. Slime.
River of slime!
Perhaps it's unfair to me to expect a good speaking voice from someone who hasn't recorded their own audiobooks like you. Perhaps I should check my privilege.
Yeah, you rich white man. Are you gonna buy a house? You should buy a house. You should have a house. I don't know why you live in an apartment. It's weird.
I like apartments. I don't like living in houses.
Well,
They feel too big and empty.
It wouldn't be empty if you had a bunch of dogs.
All by myself.
Dogs, man. You could have like 8 dogs. You could have a whole room for dogs.
I want to be a crazy dog lady.
That's coming anyway, dude. Like, may as well ease into that hot bath now.
And it'll poo everywhere.
Yeah, that's dogs, man. You have a backyard. I mean, that's the joy of a house.
Hey, that guy's drunk too much coffee. Oh, okay. He's just excited.
Yeah.
Gotta keep running diagonally.
Crab walk.
Crab.
That's exciting.
It's a crab festival.
Yeah.
That sounds like a festival for people with a sexually transmitted disease.
What were you saying earlier about lowest common denominator?
Sorry! Forgot myself for a moment
See,
there.
now the ducks follow him because that's his act. He's gonna march with ducks.
You
Love my ducks, and now he's behind a bookshelf.
Someone fucked up the layering there. I'm a way better programmer.
Yeah.
Project.
Fix that shit, 18-year ago game makers.
What's wrong with you?
All of this does nothing.
He had a smiley in his dialogue.
That's a good point.
Because they
it didn't even register when I was playing this. It was like,
it's
IRC
smiley. Dialogue. How do you pronounce a smiley? Okay, blah de blah de blah de blah.
I agree with that.
But that would just be like a standard smiley.
Yeah, you gotta. What's a winky?